vitamins, and of course the great company Youngevity, whose products I've used several products over the last year or more. And a lot of people, I think, just don't understand some of the research I did about how if you cannot trust the label of your vitamins, or the label of your minerals, or the label of the food that you're eating, let alone fresh food where there is no label, then how in God's name can you actually say and look at people like me with a straight face, or your doctor, or your spouse, or your partner, or whatever, and tell them that you're actually, you know for a fact you're healthy? Well, you have obviously the signs in your body, but like I knew, I thought I was halfway healthy until I started getting a bunch of these symptoms here because I was so undernutrified. But a lot of people, humans adapt. They just deal with their circumstance, and they assume there's something wrong, and they might have to go to a doctor. They never look at nutrition. Well, once you start doing this research like I did, I mean, you just literally prove it to yourself that these people, these authorities in the government, these people in these agencies that regulate this stuff are just clueless. They allow crap to be sold that should never be there if your goal is to create a healthy society. So, for instance, here's February 11th, 2013, USA Today and other news agencies talked about this study about how vitamin D doses often don't match labels. Well, let me tell you something. My research shows that vitamin D is hugely important to your immunity and many other things. It turns on things in your body. If you don't have it, it's an issue. Vitamin D is made from your skin when the sun hits it, made out of actually with cholesterol, I believe, in your skin to create this. And of course, you can supplement with it. And ironically, the best way is through the sun. Again, it's an essential nutrient. It's actually, I think, a subhormone. It's not really even a vitamin. So, how do you know you're getting the right vitamin D, other than when you're not going outside and getting the sun and burning yourself half the time? Well, I'll tell you what. If you're on a nutrient program like I am, you don't burn that bad. Number one. Number two, you have no clue. Your body will regulate it when you get it naturally. But if it's in this stuff, this study showed that the levels of vitamin D were anywhere from 9 to 140% of the doses. So in other words, wide variance here going on to trust. And this was done by Consumer Lab, which I've seen they test a bunch of vitamins. Actually, a pretty good source to look at some information. Of course, companies have to pay or whatever to be on here, I think, is part of their studies they do. But it just shows you that some of these pills were way off. And that also, by the way, throws in into question all of the studies that these people who are anti-nutrients like to throw out these studies saying that, hey, it didn't work, hey, it hardly found an effect, or hey, it was a placebo effect. Well, if the crap they're using on these subjects are this off, by the way, 9 to 140% off. So in other words, a lot of people could be getting nothing. And by the way, you still have to absorb it, which I've talked in my other other videos. You have to actually absorb the stuff, and also the form of the stuff matters as well. So I've talked about this before, and this company, again, Consumer Labs, they try selling you stuff, almost like a Consumer Reports, but they did some tests on this lab here, consumerlab.com, over the last 10 years or so, but they found that defects were found in 40% of the products they had looked at, whether from GNC to Walgreens, Source Natural, Rite Aid, whatever. Again, I haven't done too much research to figure out how these guys get paid and stuff. I think it's like you can pay for the reports, but I'm not sure how it works with the companies. But there's a snapshot here. One popular multivitamin contained 2.5 times the amount of vitamin A. Of course, I don't believe everything these guys say because they're flipping out about stuff like this. Too much vitamin A, okay. Well, if they knew anything about what I'm going to show you in a minute here, they wouldn't even be saying that. But you can just see that you can't trust the labels, and that's why I'm pointing that out here. Is you can't trust the labels for most of these companies. There's a couple I trust. A company called Youngevity. There's even another company, Life Extension. I would trust them more than at least 70% of the stuff on here. Of course, some of these are probably really good companies. There's Life Extension mentioned here. Again, I don't like pills. I like more absorbable nutrients. Gel caps and powder is the best stuff you can go for, because you have to absorb the stuff. And if your digestive system sucks, you're going to have issues. So anyway, just to show you that I'm not crazy here, that you cannot trust the labels. I believe I covered this in another video with a lot of the RDA levels, the stuff where they tell you, hey, this is what you should be taking, the RDI, the RDA levels. Started in the 40s. They're very slow over time. They don't account for your disease level, your sex, your the food you're eating on a daily basis. Like I said, other genetic issues. So in other words, it's all pretty much bunk. You got to trust your own body. You have to go by results. If high dose stuff works for you, like his is working for me on Youngevity, on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. By the way, there's a new Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 coming out, and a new OsteoFX coming out in powder form. Stuff I'm excited about because I'll be able to absorb stuff even better and get more money, get more product for the money. But if you still don't believe me, this is a report here that I have. I'll move this over a little bit so you can read this. Basically, let me move this out of the way. This right here is from Mother Earth News, 2004, based off real data studies from the USDA, which of course they don't want to talk about this information, but you'll see for eggs, you'll see, for instance, calcium's down 2%, the iron level in eggs down 20%. This is from 1975 to 2004. But your sodium went up, your riboflavin, one of the few things here where a vitamin actually went up, it went up in the eggs. However, vitamin A, absolutely crashing. So versus what your parents, grandparents, whatever, these minerals and vitamins in lots of areas, I'm not saying all, but lots of them are just absolutely crashing. You can go down here and look at foods. Look at calcium. Apples, down 14%. Down 60% in blueberries for calcium. Onions crashing. Tomatoes down. Green beans, 33% crashing. Thank God at least the spinach went up, you know what I mean? A little bit. Corn, which a lot of these products are all corn and wheat today. Let alone the GMO corn that out there. Down 33% in calcium. Well, calcium's a huge, huge thing. Look at kale. A lot of people pumping the kale diet and broccoli and stuff. Greens. I love greens. I feel charged off eating greens. They're, electrified to me. But look at the mineral levels, which is one reason you want to eat vegetables. The main reason you want to eat these things is for these minerals. Well, they've been, crashing. So you got to eat a lot more of the food. So this thing about you just eat the 4 food groups, just focus on eating more vegetables, which I like to say it's not really as healthy. In other words, not even as close as healthy as some of these key nutrients. Calcium's just, over 275 degenerative diseases are traced to calcium. That's how important this is. So to see down 60%, down 50%, this is a big warning flag here. We'll go on here. Vitamin C, another crucial vitamin. You actually got a little bump up in there in apples, but then you lost 31% here. You lost in potatoes, which a lot of people eat potatoes. In other words, the stuff we're eating, it's a lot less nutrient dense than it ever was. There's spinach, crashing, corn crashing, of course. Kale crashing, broccoli crashing, and vitamin C. So you're not getting levels of a huge vitamin right there. And of course, you can see this here. So, 95% in onions, vitamin A crashed. So, 400%. I don't even know if I can believe that, but wow, 400% down on corn. Again, I can't keep up with a lot of this stuff, but they don't do these studies often. Even the Youngevity reps I've worked with, I haven't seen many people post this. I'm probably the first person to look into this stuff and say, here's some real charts. I don't need to look at something from some agency document from 80 years ago. I can look here from 1975, 2004, based off USDA data, which they don't want to talk about, but has been leaked over the years. I can find the data right here. So what does this all mean, Mineralogic? I'll tell you what it means, guys. It means this. Here's from Business Insider being reported here, January 10th, 2013. Charts. The United States has some of the worst health statistics in the world. And that means the developed world. In other words, we're not going to look at some backwoods country in Africa or something. We're going to look at developed. So, Obamacare, all this focus on big pharma and getting people drugged up and never giving a solution. Well, the solution I have found, the root solution, is to go through a checklist before you go running to a doctor and everything on every little thing that you have wrong with you. Realize the labels are wrong. Realize you might be eating a lot of processed food and a lot of wheat, a lot of corn. It's all garbage, according to my research. Therefore, you're not getting a lot of nutrients. And you're having issues with absorption as well, most likely, if you're on this stuff. Or you're literally allergic to it and having autoimmune reactions. But the point is, what does the United States produce? We have the best food, don't we? We have the best healthcare, don't we? We have the best hospitals, don't we? Best healthcare insurance system, right? Well, the facts, when you look at this unemotionally, you will see that I'm right, they're wrong, and your gut feeling is right. When it comes to longevity, look at this. The United States is actually at a disadvantage. American men ranked last in life expectancy among 17 countries in this study. American women were second to last. Okay, so we're not producing, as far as mortality, it's not producing what it should. The whole point of all this, and to be focused on improving the medical system and everything else in the world, is to prevent this stuff, right? Well, I guess not. No, because they make money off sick people. So here's some of the charts. You know, even comes with perinatal, newborn children. We're like last. You got to be kidding me, right? Well, here's the chart. You know, here's the URL. You can go find this study. USA, deaths per 1,000. You know, these charts are showing it all here. You know, you got countries like Switzerland, Japan, Sweden. You know, way better. Just unbelievable. So here it comes, nutritional deficiencies. This is what this channel has been talking about. United States has second worst rate of death through respiratory illness. It's third worst. Here we go. Third worst mortality rate by nutritional deficiencies. So all these people who think, hey man, we cured all the nutritional deficiencies in this country. All you need to worry about is scurvy, you know, and stuff like that. Rickets, vitamin D, scurvy, it's vitamin C. Bare bones levels the RDA and RDAs want you to have. And look at the United States here. Absolutely pathetic. So what does the U.S. pay for this degree of service? Short answer, the United States pays more than any other country on the planet, as indicated by these charts. Total per capita expenditure on healthcare by country. You can blow up this stuff and kind of see where the United States is. $8,000 here, typical. It's just absolutely pathetic. It actually proves what Dr. Wallach, Dr. Glidden, and the pharmacist Ben Fuchs always talk about. When you look at this unemotionally, stop pretending for a second you know everything. Look at the data. Stop attacking a company like Youngevity who's trying to wake up people to this like I am. I mean, there's something wrong here. And the solution is prevention, and the solution is looking at hard facts and looking at all the things, the 90 essential nutrients on a daily basis that people do not think about. They run to the doctor. They run for aspirin. They run for cold and flu medicine or allergy medicine. They never look at the 90 or so nutrients you got to get on a daily basis, months and months and months into yourself, and to be able to fix that. You know, fix issues with digestion, which you can do with many products and also with probiotics as well. And you start to eliminate a lot of the issues you might have. So I'm hoping this will reach some people. Again, this is Mineralogic. My website you'll see below, mineralogic.my90forlife.com is the URL where you can try some of the products. Again, I mentioned the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in the powder form is the best thing you can get started with. And any other information you need, feel free to give me a call. Give me an email or contact me through YouTube. Thank you.